Alright folks, we're back. You didn't even know I was gone, but it's the next day. I did get a hold of the lady. She said, you know, green light on the converter, so we're going to chop it off. I did not find a direct fit carb converter that I could get, you know, other than OEM, which are stupid money. You know, it far exceeds the value of this car, so I've got the universal carb certified, you know, replacement for this coming up from Nappers, but we got to cut it off the flange, you know, cut the pipe, you know, get the flange off the car, weld the converter to the flange. You know, it's a little bit more legwork, but it's, you know, a fraction of the cost of a direct fit unit, which, like I say, is more valuable than this car is. The starter, she's supposed to call the place that they got it from to see if it's warranty, blah, blah, blah. So I'm waiting to hear from her on that. In the meantime, we're going to take care of the cat. I still have a starter coming, so I don't know if she's going to have us do that, or, you know, if she's going to find out that they're going to warranty it, whatever. But let's get chopping. I don't know what it's made out of, Hannah, but it completely flattens out the blade. This junk. That is the second Milwaukee torch. It just melts it, turns them red hot in a matter of a couple seconds, and game over. Plan B. Plan B. Alright, plan B. It worked. So here's the universal Cali cat that we're using. It's a walker. I don't know if that's the number right there. Directional arrow on it. And a lot of people are probably flipping out, you know, why I'm doing it with, you know, the flange in place. Well, I just want to get my measurements, and frankly, it's easier to, you know, clean this up if you got something to hold it for you. So that's it. That's the only reason behind that. However, this is a 3-inch in, you know, 3-inch out converter, which, you know, the factory one is also, but where it goes into this rear pipe, they've expanded this pipe. Now, I don't dare expand this pipe up to 3 inches. That's a big jump. The factory one did, and, you know, when the pipe's new, it's, you know, a lot easier to do. I'm just afraid that this may split. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this up here. I did buy a small adapter. That's the number on that. That will go in the converter. We'll slip it in wherever we need it, you know, we'll buzz it on. Now it's on a 2.5-inch OD, which this pipe's 2.5-inch OD, so naturally, you know, this one won't fit, but what we'll do is we'll spread this open a little bit. So currently, I just want to take and get us a rough measurement. We'll stick this in, you know, about where we're gonna, you know, where we're gonna want it. Really doesn't matter. We'll stick this up here, and then I'm just gonna make a measurement. on that pipe, and then I'm going to cut that pipe. And then what we'll do is we'll make sure everything looks good, and then we can just take and, you know, we'll nick the bolts off this flange, you know, take it down, get stuff welded together, get it spread out, get it slipped on. I got a new gasket for here, and then we'll, you know, just keep trucking. Like I say, if that factory exhaust wasn't, you know, 4 digits, then we'd be going that route, but trying to save a bunch of money here. There's our flange. Let's make sure we got it going the right direction. And I think what we'll do, we'll, because the flange is, you know, ground pretty flat, don't have to touch that up again, that looks good. We'll take and just kind of get it lined up on here. I'll just put a couple tacks on it. I'm going to stick it back up on the flange on the car just to make sure everything looks good. Make sure I don't have it tweaked or anything. And I'm going to weld this into, you know, this end up here. And then once that's all together, so I can hold the whole mess, and we'll expand this just a little bit to get it to fit. Fits. Alright, looks pretty good. Maybe we can't fry it on here a little bit. Alright, that's good enough. So that's buzzed on there now. Like I say, we'll take and get this down in here. I'm just going to stick it up on the car one more time just to make sure that, you know, I'm not going to push this in too far before we weld that on there. So I tacked it on there, stuck it up on the car. Looks like we're the appropriate length, so see if we can't fry this on my ground wire. Clamp on there. I guess we'll be good to go. So I'm just going to get the pipe expander and open this up just a little bit so it slips over the pipe on the car after it cools down. And then I think we'll be good to go. Again.
So it's not all.
Yeah, 2005 and newer. We're going to work on getting these studs out now. Just got to heat up around them a little bit. They should spin right out for us, hopefully.
Thank you for the air.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you, Dan. So that's all we're doing. Pull this one out. Obviously, pull the other 3 out. I need to bore you with that process. I'm just going to use some Ford exhaust manifold studs. You always have piles of these things sitting around because whenever you buy the kit, you have, you know, unless you're doing a V10, you've got 2 extras. So after this customer leaves, we're just going to spin these in here, and then we'll have, you know, our brand new studs, and then, you know, these nuts. These nuts! I just went and wire wheeled the face of that off to keep it clean. It's easier to do with the studs off from it. Hopefully we'll never sneeze on these for what it's worth. I doubt this will ever be touched again, but you never know. So I'm just going to spin these 4 studs in, get our gasket, all that business. Yeah, I mean, think about it, woman. You look like the Tin Man. Trust me. You're pushing your luck.
They dropped it.
Oops, she got a 3rd-degree burn. So we got our new gasket. Well, we got to record what we're doing, Vinny. The people want to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should hire you full time, Vinny. You're down here now. You can be my public relations. No? You're not friendly enough or what?
I don't see that many people.
Oh. Yeah, you could be like the Walmart greeter of South Main Auto.
Give out stickers.
Yeah, and hugs. Free hugs. Yeah, that one there, yep. So now we're just going to clamp the back on because at some point, you know, the resonator will rot out. And this will make it a lot easier to change. You know, you buy an aftermarket resonator and then just, you cut the clamp off here. But our pipe is way up in past the crack. It's just about up to the end of our flare. So it shouldn't have any problem sealing. In theory. Everything always looks good on paper. All right, beautiful. Well, there it is, folks. It's on and bolted. Well, Runny never sees there. Like I said, the little Ford studs, they worked pretty good. The gaskets, converter, like I said, just welded that flange to, the aftermarket one, then had to buy the, adapter and then just clamp it so when, resonator dies or, the rest of the exhaust, it looks, it's got an aftermarket muffler on it anyways, so, good chance that some of the stuff will need to be replaced in the future. So that's it. We can't even test it because the starter's still junk. I'm gonna pop the starter in there and then we'll take this little guy on a toot around town, make sure it works. Let's see, got the Alto hooked up. Gonna take it for a drive, make sure our converter works. All that here. We'll see if we have any code sort in. Now I did have the battery unhooked, so I doubt that we will. The battery's getting pretty low on this sucker. Let's just see here. Alright, so there are no codes currently in it. I'm going to take it as fired up. So the starter on this thing is legit like a 2-minute job. It's nice because whoever did it last never put any of the plastic shields or anything back on it, so they're all gone. They're missing. I'm going to pull up some data here. And we'll take a look. Let's see. We just want to look at our O2 sensors and our fuel trims, and that'll be good enough. That's our fuel gauge over there beeping away. Fuel level sensor must be wonky in it. Alright, I'm going to let it run for a bit here, warm up. Go into closed loop, see what it looks like. Sorry about the glare, guys, but where are you? There you are. So we just hit closed loop. Just got the RPMs up a little bit, just warming that converter up. See, our upstream O2 sensor is working good. It appears that, with this RPM and airflow rate, that our converter is working well. I'll have to take it for a drive. Of course, it's gonna. I'd like it to run the catalyst monitor, which it probably won't today. Simply because I started it up, backed it off the lift, and that shut the key back off. So we'll just take it down the road, see what it looks like. I don't know if this car is old enough. It probably uses index switch ratio testing. So as long as we're seeing a pretty steady reading on our O2, I think we'll be okay. Some of them that use oxygen storage capacity, they work quite a bit differently. I don't believe there's any force monitor runs on this. This thing's pretty old. I'll poke back through here, but double check. I do not believe so. I don't think they have anything special. Some Chryslers you work on, when you put a catalytic converter on those, you actually have to go through and tell it it's a new catalytic converter, so I'll be mindful of that. Alright, time for a toot. Oh, where's my seatbelt? Ooh, that camouflage thing, man. Fancy. Still want to listen to the dinger. Alright, hold on. Here we go. Oh, there goes our gas gauge, back up to half. coming in? I don't think so. Rush hour downtown, you know, you gotta watch this traffic. Yeehaw, lady, almost got her. Couldn't wait, you know. Next time. Let's see if I can. So far so good. Everything's looking pretty well. We're just cruising steady. Catalytic converter does appear to be working. So I'm going to see if the monitor will run. I doubt that it will, but we're going to keep going here. We're going to have to leave it at that, folks. The dry cycle did not run. They need their car today. The rest of the monitors that are on here are not going to run. I've already spoke to the lady, you know, this kid's mom or whatever the situation is there, and let her know that when the EVAP monitor runs, it's likely going to turn the engine light on, and then, you know, once we get a code and see what part of the EVAP system it's having problems with, then we'll, you know, we get it back in, diagnose that, and then he should be 100%. But fortunately, he did not need a computer that you guys saw in the first video. I know this one's kind of boring, but I just wanted to show you the process. That was the process. Let's see, any questions, comments, criticisms, put them down below. Make sure you tell me that I'm not a welder. I should have pushed when I pulled, zigged when I should have zagged. It doesn't matter. We're not welding together anything structural. It's just an exhaust. It'll be okay, trust me. And that's it. Subscribe, ring the bell, do everything that you normally do. Just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.